Tonight's Dream Team panel, former Trump economic advisor Steve Moore and the author of How Trump is Making Black America Great Again, Horace Cooper. Gentlemen, welcome back. Good to see you.
Good evening.
Thanks, Shannon.
Okay, so let's start with this. This is the year-to-date price hikes. This is for groceries up nearly 12%, gasoline nearly 50%, fuel and oil 107%, nearly natural gas over 30%, new cars over 12%, used cars over 16%. Steve, what is the state of the economy tonight with those new inflation numbers coming in today?
You know, the last time we were on the show, I think a couple of weeks ago, we were talking about this very issue, and I mentioned the 8% inflation, and I got a lot of mail and angry calls of people saying, hey, you know, inflation isn't just 8%. You know, you mentioned everything from eggs to oil to produce up, 10, 15, 20%. So a lot of Americans feel it's a lot worse than this. What was really disturbing about that report that came out today, Shannon, was that inflation, now it's clear it's not temporary, it's not transitory. Remember, they used that word last year. And it's not leveling off. Shannon, it's getting worse. So the number that came out this morning, this number, if you had it for a full year, you'd be talking about somewhere in the neighborhood of 12 or 13% inflation. And this idea that somehow it's Putin, it's the oil companies, it's the drug companies, it's Donald Trump. Don't forget, Shannon, here's just one statistic to keep in mind. When Trump left office in January of 2021, the inflation rate, 1.6%. Here we are 15 months later, 8.6%. Wow.
These are rough numbers. I want to play something from Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen on Thursday. Here is what she said about polling and reflecting reality and where we are.
When you look at opinion polls and you see what households have to say, it's amazing how pessimistic they are, given that we have about the strongest labor market we've had in the entire post-war period.
I mean, Horace, people are just responding to what is their daily reality, but a number of Biden administration officials seem to say the polls don't accurately reflect what's really going on in the economy.
You know, this is what I find ironic. This administration probably polls more, like nightly, than any other of its predecessors. And then it goes out publicly and says these polls don't reflect anything that real Americans think. The problem here isn't that Americans have a misperception of what's going on. When you go to the gas station, I've been here in Houston for 4 days. The price of gasoline at the station closest to me has already jumped 15 cents. That's not a perception. That's a reality. Americans are going to the grocery store and they're seeing the same thing. This administration should pay attention to what people are having happen, not perceptions, what is real, and they should stop making it worse. Change course and not leave it so that the American people are left only with a little change.
Well, the DNC has this to say, pointing the finger back at Republicans. They say while President Biden and Democrats are laser focused on lowering costs for American families, Republicans have repeatedly voted against measures to help lower costs, including on insulin and at the pump, and are running on a MAGA agenda that could raise costs on working Americans and end the Social Security and Medicare guarantees while making Trump's tax giveaways to the ultra wealthy permanent. Steve, that is sort of a name check of you, at least with the last administration, so I'll get you to respond.
Yeah, well, I helped write that tax plan. We're very proud of it. By the way, when the Trump tax plan passed in the next 2 years, we had a record increase in incomes. Median household incomes, that's the middle class, did better. We're likely to see this year, we don't have the official numbers yet, but it's very likely we're going to see the biggest decline in median household income under Biden that we've seen in about 15 years. So the middle class is getting clobbered by these. And I just have to laugh at something that Horace just said when he said, look, the gasoline price is going up in Houston. I mean, Houston is the energy capital of the country. You know you've got problems.
Horace, last 10 seconds to you.
Oh, absolutely. This president has the reverse Midas touch. Everything he touches, he destroys. It would have been so much easier for him to be president to steal all of the Trump policies and maybe not tweet.
Yeah.
He found he would be a lot more popular. Instead, he has made it worse.
All right, Horace, travel safely from Houston. Great to see you and Steve. Thank you both.
Thank you.
Thank you, Shannon.